Join me during my second time at the Playgrounds Art Market, one of my best events of the year. This time I have double the space, but does that also mean double the revenue? Join me on this fun adventure to find out. Hello! In a few hours I'll be going to Eindhoven for the setup day of Playgrounds. I'll just be traveling with some carry-on bags. I'll be traveling by public transport today, and tomorrow my dad thankfully can bring my mom and I to the market venue by car, so that's when I'll be taking like the big stuff with me. Yeah, today I'll just be doing a light setup so that tomorrow we can place everything onto the setup very quickly. I've been making a bunch of lists of what to pack and things that I still have to do. I made an updated inventory list. I keep feeling like I forgot to put new stuff on here, but we'll see. My carry-on luggage is already packed, so yeah, let's go. We have arrived. It's currently almost 3 o'clock. A little bit early for setup. Everything was like kind of set up already, so I can immediately begin. The venue looks largely the same as it did yesterday, as it did last year. Last year I stood over on that side, and this time I'm over in like the alleyway. That'll probably make things a little bit more crowded than they did last year. Last year I was really happy that I was on the more open side, so we'll see how it goes this time. It's really cozy on this side though, so I'm very excited. And yeah, let's start setting up. So I'm basically done for today. I set up everything that I brought with me. It's not that much, but yeah, I'll basically be going home now, and yeah, I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, that was about like price list.
Hello, we have officially opened. It's been about 10 minutes, and so far they haven't let a lot of people in, so it's mostly just the artists still looking around. I quite had to scramble to set up anyway. There was a lot more stuff that I had to still put together and make price lists and such, but we managed to do it before they opened, so yes, I'm very excited. I already made one sale to a fellow artist. I'll have to check out their stands later on, but yes, very excited. So excited to Street Pass again as well, especially now that Tomodachi Life basically releasing today, so I'm hoping people will take their 2DS with them so I can Street Pass them and we can meet on Tomodachi Life. That's so cute. Yeah. Ja, dat klopt. Was hem. Heel veel plezier op vandaag. Ja, jij ook. Succes. Yes. Dat is goed. Doei.
Nog niet gedaan.
Nee. Alles steeds voor jou. Dank je. Yeah.
Could I have one of these?
Yes.
And maybe 3 postcards.
3 postcards. Yeah. Which ones? This is for you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Zal ik kaarsje erbij doen? Ja? En dus dit is voor jou. Dankjewel. Heel erg bedankt. Fijne dag nog. Oh my god, I've had so many interactions from fellow artists and creatives that were like so nice and kind. I got like a bunch of gifts. I'm speechless by how special it makes me feel and how special everyone is and how supportive and excited everyone is about each other's art. It's amazing. Yeah, I do. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Ik begin bijna door dat Franse pak in. Ja. Ik zit er ook op.
Dat is niet correct.
Ja, leuk. Hello. It's currently 6:15. The festival itself has ended and we're now in the final 2 hours, I would say. I'm expecting things to be very slow. Not many people are around, mostly just people staying late at the venue, eating, talking to each other. Not necessarily them going to the art market. So we'll see. I have to say I am really tired after today. It was a really nice and exciting day, but days like these are very tiring. I'm probably going to grab some food later. We'll have to see. I'm actually not hungry at all, but I do have to eat something, you know. Overall, first impression today was amazing. I'm very excited about tomorrow. Sorry, got interrupted real quick. I think I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Good morning. I have just arrived at the venue and I'm now restocking some of the stuff on my table. Brought some extra stuff that I forgot yesterday, so we should be good. I do have to say I have quite a bit of a headache. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think I drank enough yesterday. I had to get up very early and only got home at about 10:15. So oof. Yesterday I also looked at the things I sold and my small art prints, aka my cards, were definitely my best sellers. And my little zine also sold really well, which I'm very excited about because it was a huge investment, but it paid off and I already had a feeling that they would be really doing well at this market and I was right, so yes. My goal is to not really sell out of anything. I want to have enough stock to be able to sell if people want something. The only thing I kind of hope to sell out of is my last duck washi tape. I thought the washies would be selling really well at this market. Apparently not the case. The art girlies aren't necessarily stationary girlies as well, but that's fine. I'll just be putting them up on my shop or selling them at future markets. The art girlies really are going for the art books and the art prints. So yeah, they're coming through. Thank you so much. I had an amazing time yesterday and I can't wait to start today as well, which will probably be in about a few minutes, so I have to hurry up. Ja! Wil je er ook maar op? Ja! Wow! Alsjeblieft. Yeah. It's a lot less busy than it was yesterday, which was to be expected. A lot of people bought tickets for 2 days and probably already went through the art markets on the first day. But yeah, it's actually even less busy than I thought it would be, even though I already mentally prepared for it a little bit. On one hand, kind of nice because I'm kind of zoning out. My headache is pretty bad, and I'm still really tired from yesterday, so it's nice to be able to take it a little bit more slow, but I would like to make some more profit. Yeah, we'll see. It's currently 15:20 and I just hit about the same that I did last year. So let's hope to making a little bit more sales. Unrelated, I made these silly little notes because it was a lot more slow earlier. I felt more comfortable just leaving my stand for a little bit. But yeah, I still made these signs to let people know that did pass by, like, I'll be back in a second. It's almost the end. We've got about 10 minutes left and it's been an amazing day. Just had the opportunity to talk to my table mate from last year. It was amazing to talk to her again and I feel so fulfilled. I'm a little bit speechless after the day. I'm also just tired, so I'll be recapping in a proper way once I'm home. Yeah, that's it for today and I'll be seeing you. Hi there, we're back from Playgrounds. It's been a few days and I've had some time to reflect. So now I want to do a quick recap of the market, share some stats and my final thoughts. So if you don't know, Playgrounds is an industry event that's held every year in Eindhoven in the Klokgebouw at Strijp. Over the years it has grown a lot and now I believe they also have editions in London and Berlin. During the event they invite industry professionals from independent artists, studios, from the animation, gaming and general illustration industry. There are various artist talks. You can get your portfolio reviewed by industry professionals. There are live drawing sessions, exhibitions and of course the art market. I've been going to this event for years at this point and it's one of my favorite events of the year. And I do believe it's also the biggest art, illustration, concept art industry event within Europe. The first time I actually went to Playgrounds, I was preparing my portfolio to apply to art school. Yeah, it's one of the events that made me into the artist that I am today. And ever since then I've been going basically every year that it was held. Last year was the first year they did an open call for the art market and it was also one of my first ever markets. This year I applied again, got in again, and this time with a full table instead of a half table. The applications for Playgrounds are jury-based and my full booth cost 120 euros. Day 1 was from 9:30 till 8 o'clock in the evening. Last year when I did the event I had a booth on one of the outside rows of the art market and this time I was placed on one of the inner rows. Day 2 was from 9:30 till 6 or 6:30. This day I was by myself. The second day was a lot slower than the first one, so I was able to handle everything by myself pretty well. And as per usual, last day of the event, afterwards, we had to break everything down and go home. So let's start with the stats, my favorite part. My costs were 120 euros for the table, 72 euros in travel costs, 18 euros in food and drinks and stuff. I ended up having to pay about 60 euros in transaction fees, and I bought one art book, not necessarily part of the setup expenses, but I'm still counting it as expenses for the day, which was about 40 euros for an art book that I bought. I'm not going to share my exact number of profits, however, I will share my sales numbers. Day 1 I had 138 transactions, and on day 2 I had 82 transactions. Compared to the year before, on day 1 I had 29 more transactions, and on day 2 I had 11 transactions less than last year. My best sellers were my sketchbook scene, of which I've sold 62 copies at the event. Then were my small art prints. In total I sold over 100 of them, but my 3 best sellers were the geese print, of which I sold 31, the night cat print, of which I sold 30, and the cat band, of which I sold 21. I sold out of 2 large prints, the cat knight and the geese, and I didn't sell any of my handmade book sleeves or the washi tapes with ball prints on them. Compared to last year, I had a lot more items to sell. I was able to fill up my full booth really well, and I also had a few more high ticket items. High ticket meaning more expensive items. This made it so I doubled my revenue compared to last year. And being able to do that in this economy, that's insane. I'm so happy. What I will say though, train travel costs in the Netherlands is unnecessarily expensive, and I don't think it should cost this much. Mind you, I was able to travel by car 2 times. I pay a train subscription that makes it so that outside of the rush hour times, I travel with a 40% discount, and I didn't even include my subscription fees into the travel costs, and it still cost 72 euros. That's yeah, and as we're complaining a little bit, I have some critique points from this edition. Not many, but still I would like to share my thoughts. This time the art market was still open on the first day till 8 o'clock in the evening, and if I remember correctly, one of the last events / artist talks that was being held ended around 6. From what I believe this time, because it was the 20th anniversary of the event, they would be holding an after party in one of the halls where the artist talks were at first being held, so they closed that down to change everything around for the after party, and people were able to wait in the building at the artist alley if they wanted to attend the after party afterwards. However, most people either went out to eat with their friends, just chat with each other, or go home, which meant that there was basically no one there the last 2 hours that the art market was open. I believe I made 1 to 2 sales max during these last 2 hours. And I also believe that was just fellow art market vendors that bought something from me during that time. I have a suspicion that they won't be doing this again next year anyway, but yeah, those 2 extra hours were unnecessary, especially with how tired we already were after such an intensive day. So yeah, that's not worth repeating. It was, however, a fun opportunity to get to know my fellow art market vendors a little bit more. I do really feel like I made a bunch of new friends over there, and everyone was so kind and the vibes were just amazing. But yeah, I was so tired by the end. And another thing, I do suspect that I possibly would have been able to make a bit more revenue if I was located on the outside of the art market instead of in the alleyway. Mostly because in the alleyway it got unbelievably crowded at certain points, especially during the first day. If you wanted to enter when there were a lot of people in there already, it was literally just a wall of people. At one point I had to fix something in my booth and I had to walk around to get to the front, and I wasn't able to reach my own booth. So I feel like that says enough about how insanely busy it was there. So I fully understand that a lot of people just skipped the inner alley and maybe either came back later on or just didn't end up coming back at all. because there was a lot to do at the event. So I understand that you don't want to waste your time maybe shuffling through the artist alley, knowing all the other fun stuff that you could be doing. Compared to last year, I noticed that people were able to look at my booth and my products from afar. So even if they weren't in front of my booth, they could see something while standing a bit further back and maybe make a decision or see something that they liked and come back later. But in the alleyway, this also wasn't an option. You really had to be in front of the booth to be able to see what the artist was selling. From my experience, being on the outside was a lot more chill than being in the alleyway. And I don't know how much the event is able to change around the floor plan or anything, but I feel like if they would be able to make the alleyway more wide, so there is a lot more room for people to walk, it would solve a lot of these problems already. And then it basically wouldn't matter if you're on the outside or the inside. But now I do feel like the artists on the inside might have gotten less sales due to how overcrowded it was. And yeah, that's basically all my feedback. Overall, the experience was amazing. I think you probably already guessed by how much I'm gushing over this experience. So now let's get to the more fun points that I want to yap about. This is an event by artists for artists. I got to meet so many amazing people, and I also was gifted a bunch of stuff from people there. At events like this, I often don't feel comfortable leaving my booth, even if I have someone with me who is able to help me, mostly because I know that people come to these events to be able to talk to the artists. So I try to stay at my booth as much as possible. But during this event, so many of my fellow artists were able to stop by my booth and have a chat with me, and I feel like I was really able to connect with a few of them. I am so grateful to be a part of this community, and that I'm slowly getting to know more and more people that regularly attend these events, and that I get to share my passion for creating and creativity with so many others. Moments like these make me also so hopeful in a way. Just seeing how much passion there is during events like this for art and the human connection behind it really inspires and motivates me. Working in the creative industry can sometimes be very isolating, especially if you're self-employed. So the fact that I get to attend events like this, where you can genuinely feel the creative and exciting energy buzzing through the air, is just a reminder why I do what I do. And also knowing that I'm not alone in this. There are so many others that are either working towards something similar, are already doing something similar, or are at points that I want to reach with my creative career. And yeah, seeing all those people in one place is amazing. So once again, I want to thank everyone that stopped by my booth, had a little chat with me, checked out my art, and shared their excitement with me. The items I showed on screen were almost all things that people gifted to me. And yeah, also a special thank you to my mom. Thank you once again for helping me. And yeah, that about wraps up everything that I wanted to say for the Playgrounds event. If you want to see how I started out doing art markets and artist alleys in general, I made a video on that as well, where you can check out how I did my first ever artist alley. And if you want to see me finish my sketchbook that I ended up turning into my first sketchbook scene, you can follow along with that process in a video that will be up here. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.